There are moments in life when everything seems to fall apart, and the world whispers that some people were simply born to suffer. But sometimes destiny tests the wrong person, someone who refuses to stay broken. This is the story of a man no one expected to rise, yet life itself would prove everyone wrong. In a silent corner of a forgotten village lived a man named Arjan. His house was nothing more than a fragile hut stitched together with old wood and patches of hope. Every morning he woke before sunrise, not because he had work, but because he had responsibility. His sick father needed care, and his little sister relied on him for food. Poverty was not just a situation for Arjun. It was a shadow that followed him everywhere. Yet even in the middle of so much struggle, Arjun carried something rare, a heart that still believed tomorrow could be better. But belief alone wasn't enough. Day after day, Arjun walked to the town square searching for work. Every time he asked, people waved him away. "We don't need you. No jobs today. Come back later." Those words stung, but he kept trying. Back home, he always told his sister, "Don't worry, things will change." But deep inside, he feared that, maybe, they wouldn't. One night, while sitting beside his father's bed, Aryan heard him whisper, "Son, maybe fate doesn't want us to rise." Aryan didn't respond, but inside something broke. Unable to sleep, he stepped outside and wandered through the village until he reached the old broken bridge. It was where people went when they wanted to be alone. Aryan sat on the edge and stared at his hands. Rough, wounded, empty. He wondered how much longer he could carry the weight of a life that seemed designed to crush him. As the moonlight touched the water, he whispered, "Why me? Why this life?" At that moment, he heard footsteps. An old wandering monk approached slowly, leaning on a wooden staff. His eyes were calm, as if he had seen every sorrow the world could offer. "Why does your heart tremble, my son?" he asked. Arjun told him everything. The poverty, the exhaustion, the feeling that fate had already written his story. The monk listened quietly, then placed a small clay pot in front of him. It was cracked, old, almost useless. "What do you see?" the monk asked. "A broken pot," Arjun replied. The monk smiled. "Look again." He dipped the pot into the river. When he lifted it, water flowed beautifully through every crack, glowing under the moonlight like silver threads. "This pot is broken," the monk said, "but the cracks don't make it worthless. They allow it to shine in ways a perfect pot never could." Aryan stared, confused. The monk continued, "Life has cracked you, yes, but through those cracks, your strength can shine. Fate does not decide your worth, your actions do." Before Arjun could say anything, the monk handed him the pot. "Carry this home. Whenever you feel weak, remember, even broken things can glow." The next morning, something inside Arjun had shifted. He woke early and began repairing the hut, fixing small things that had been ignored for years. When neighbors saw him working, they stopped to watch. One of them, an older carpenter, said, "If you can work like this, come help me in the workshop." It was the first opportunity Aryan had received in months. He worked tirelessly, sweeping, sanding wood, lifting heavy boards. He learned quickly and worked harder than anyone expected. Soon the carpenter trusted him with small repairs, then larger ones. Then customers began asking specifically for Arjan. With each passing week, life improved a little. His father received medicine on time. His sister had warm meals. And the cracks inside Arjan began to glow, just like the pot. One day, a wealthy landowner came to the workshop with a request. He wanted an old storage house restored. Many workers had refused the job. The place was falling apart. But Arjan accepted. It was his chance to prove himself. The building was worse than he imagined. Broken beams, rotten floors, walls ready to collapse. For a moment, fear whispered, "You can't do this." But then he remembered the monk's words. "Through your cracks, strength shines." Arjan worked day and night, sometimes alone, sometimes with help. He carried wood on his back, hammered until his hands bled, and rebuilt the structure piece by piece. The workers in the village watched with curiosity. Some laughed at him, others admired him. But Arjan kept going. Weeks later, the restoration was complete. When the landowner saw the transformation, he was speechless. "Who did this?" he asked. The carpenter replied proudly, "Arjan." Word spread like wildfire. Soon everyone in the region knew about the man who rebuilt the impossible. People came from far villages asking for his skills. He earned enough to repair his home, buy medicine for his father, and send his sister to school. Aryan was no longer the man fate tried to break. He was the man who rebuilt himself. Years passed. His small repairs grew into a full construction business. He trained young men who had once felt hopeless just like him. His father recovered. His sister graduated. The village, once crumbling, began to rise, because Arjan helped rebuild it too. One evening, while organizing tools in his workshop, Arjan noticed the old cracked pot sitting on a shelf. He picked it up and smiled. Those cracks, once symbols of weakness, were now his greatest reminder. His life had changed not because fate had mercy, but because he changed the meaning of his cracks. And the villagers would often say, "Some men are shaped by destiny, but Arjan shaped his own." If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs hope. Comment below what lesson you learned from Arjan's journey. Like this video so it reaches more people, and subscribe for more stories that guide the soul. And remember, your next chapter begins the moment you believe you can write it.